They want the call. They're expecting the call. In fact, one of them is by their bedside right now praying that you will call them and say, hey, I want to sell you a deal. Can you tell me what I should be looking for? Why would you go looking for deals if you don't know what type of deals your buyers are going to buy? Welcome to part 2 of getting your first deal. In the first video, we actually talked about the first 3 steps. Oh my gosh, why? Why does this have to always happen to me? In the first video, we talked about the first 3 steps. So go watch that video. That's video number 1 in this series. Go watch it. Tons of resources, tons of free trainings, tons of everything that you really, really need. Step by step.
Future, could you pay the cost you want? Will there ever be a second time around? Oh, when the tears are...
In this video, we're going to talk about the next 3 steps in this video, which is video number 2. So finding buyers. Once you've accomplished determining your strategy, focusing on your strategy, and generating leads, which I dissected and I talked about these 3 for 30 minutes in a previous YouTube video. Please go click on that if you are just watching this for the first time. Finding buyers. Okay, now where do I find buyers? There's so many places to find buyers. Throw a rock and you will find a buyer of real estate, okay? But if you are trying to find a buyer, here's a really great way to do it, is that you can go to a Keegley franchise. You can go to a SubTo student. You can go to an Astro student, somebody in our communities. You can go to my free Facebook group. These are just like amazing free resources for you. You can go and ask an agent to list your property on the MLS, largest database of buyers, MLS, right? Pretty amazing. You can also go to Start with Privy. If you don't want to go, you can go to startwithprivy.com. If you don't want to go to the MLS and deal with real estate agents, I don't blame you. I don't really like agents either. I do a lot of deals with agents, but don't tell them I like them. I don't like the other ones. I like the 1% of agents. I call these 1% of agents. What do I call them? Do you know what I call them? Eric doesn't know, but they're called unicorn agents. Okay, they're the rare unicorn agents that own their own properties, invest in their own deals, understand real estate investors and how we think, and they utilize their superpower of having a license to help us real estate investors. And I call them unicorn agents. I love them. So if you don't want to deal with or find a unicorn agent, then go to Start with Privy. This does cost money, okay? All of these are free. This costs, I think, $97 a month. And it will help you also on number 5, which I'll get to in just a second. But that's another really great place to find buyers. You can go to Public Record. Public Record, that's free, but it's a PIA. Pain in the ass. It is annoying, but you can go to County Records and you can find properties that are selling. You can go to Landglide as well. Landglide is like $50 a month or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't use Landglide anymore. I use Privy because Privy has so many other features that Landglide doesn't. It's all like Privy has nationwide MLS. It has owner information. It has all sorts of great things. And then you can comp. That's where we primarily comp and underwrite properties is inside of Privy as well. I wouldn't use Landglide, but it is an option. And there's literally like 100 other ones, okay? You could even go to like Investor Lift. A lot of people will use Investor Lift that get really, really big in the business. Investor Lift is like, no exaggeration, I think it's between $3,000 to $5,000 per month, okay? So there are resources that you can scale and utilize. We are currently building something that's free. I'm gonna call it the free platform. And if you guys are watching this for the first time, this currently is only available to SubTo and Astro students right here. But we will probably in about a year make it available. So maybe you're watching this in a year. That platform, which will be free, will basically annihilate everything but Privy. Once I get a buyer, this is really, really important. I tell people find buyers before you get a contract, okay? Find buyers before you get a contract. Well, because here's what's gonna happen. In a wholesale transaction, your job is to get leads from either agents that are representing homeowners or directly to homeowners, okay? I'll just say homeowners. So you'll be reaching out to them or you'll be reaching out to maybe wholesalers, another subset. We talked about this in video number 1. Again, generating leads, where do leads come from? So if you're reaching out to these people trying to get leads, how do you know if it's a good deal? How do you know if it's a good deal? Well, I told you to find buyers. How does finding buyers help you get a deal? I'll tell you why. Because on number 5, which is the next step, is you need to learn how to comp. Like really learn how to comp. Because I get so many people here. I'll show you one right now. I just got this at lunch. Eric and I just went and got lunch on a break. Shout out Jake Wilson for taking action. He says, my name is Jake Wilson and I recently started following you and just began studying your program. I came across the following property through a contractor group I'm in and I was wondering if this is a lead that could be beneficial. I said, that's not a deal. It needs $300,000 in work. I saw that one the other day. So you need buyers like me that say, oh, hey, your numbers are off. Your numbers are wrong. I would buy it at this price. The first 100 deals I ever did, this person, which was me, did not know how to comp. I literally did not know how to comp. What I did is I went to my buyer, is who the person I'm going to make my money from, and I'm going to go get a contract with, here's the contract. I go get a contract with one of these people, purchase contract. I then create another contract between me and the buyer. So this is called the A to B contract. This is group A, this is B. Then I go get a B to C contract because I'm B, remember? And C, buyer is C. So A, B, paste, break it down for me, A, B, C, A, B, C. A to B, I get a contract. It's called a purchase contract. And by the way, if you guys want a purchase contract for wholesale, I'll give you one. We spent probably over the course of me re-editing this purchase contract, probably 8-9 years. I would say collectively I've spent 50 grand, like making tweaks with my attorney on this purchase contract. Go down in the description below. If you download somebody else's contract, even some of my friends, I will tell you right now, I think Jerry Norton has a good contract. Jamil has a good contract. Nobody else has a good contract. Nobody else has a good contract. I've read their contracts. A lot of them don't have earnest money, which is, you're not consummating the contract. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. You're not giving consideration to the seller. Those are not legal contracts. You need to have contracts that give you the ability to write memorandums, the release of earnest money, you need to talk about earnest money, cure periods, all sorts of things need to be in that contract. 1,000 reasons why you need that, okay? If you want to understand my purchase contracts, there's a video I did with Sean St. Clair, the attorney that I have write all my contracts. His name is Sean St. Clair. Type in YouTube, or maybe my team will give you a link down below, Sean St. Clair Wholesale Hotline. Type that in. And he'll walk through and give you a whole training on that contract that I had him redraft 15 to 20 times. And you can get a copy of the purchase contract down below. In that same bundle of contracts, I also give you what this contract is called. It's called an assignment contract. So your buyer, me, just like I did with that gentleman in Instagram DMs, is I'm going to say, no, that's not a deal. Go get it for $100,000. Or yes, that's a deal if blank happens, right? The thing that you guys are going to realize when you're brand new is that you will literally not know anything. And so you have to rely on them. You have to rely on your buyer. Your buyer should be one of your best friends. So you should not be going out submitting offers when you're brand new to homeowners when you don't have a buyer. These people want you to call them. The homeowners are going to be like you're cold calling. The agents, I wouldn't be nervous about calling them. I'm truly telling you, it's okay to be nervous here. These people are not expecting your call. This, you have no excuse for you to be nervous about calling a buyer. Build a relationship with the buyer. You should not feel nervous at all. They want the call. They are expecting the call. In fact, one of them is by their bedside right now praying that you will call them and say, hey, I want to sell you a deal. Can you tell me what I should be looking for? Why would you go looking for deals if you don't know what type of deals your buyers are going to buy? Go do market research. Go find your buyers. And I already gave you all the explanations. I learned how to comp, by the way. Privy did not exist at the time, but I tell people go to startwithprivy.com. Yes, it does cost money. I think it's $97. Startwithprivy.com. And that's how you will comp. In fact, if you go, man, I feel like I've done so many videos to help people and people still say I don't break it down enough. Go to Pace Morby and type in Pace Morby how to comp. Okay, I've done hours upon hours upon hours of training utilizing Privy. But I always still would tell you that you need to verify your deals with your buyer. Okay, so go find buyers on Privy, go to Privy and learn how to comp, and then continually do, here we go, final step right here, repeat the work. You have to repeat the work. Whatever your strategy is, this is where real estate gets really hard. The hardest part of real estate by far is all these arrows are so confusing. People are still questioning what they should do. Here's what people expect me to say. All right, YouTube viewer, put your pants on, get in your car, drive down to Main Street and Broadway Road and get on that corner and go and knock on the first door, say this.
Avon calling.
That's not how it works. I don't know what your financial, physical, spiritual, geographical requirements are. I don't know everything about you. So that's the problem with YouTube, unfortunately. So some of you are going to want to talk to agents. Some of you are going to want to be talking to sellers directly. And some of you want to go out and JV with other wholesalers. I don't know which strategy you want to choose, which is why you have to go back to video number 1, which is determine your strategy, focus on that strategy, and utilizing that specific strategy, generate leads. Then come into finding buyers who can help you and make sure you have contracts, learn how to comp and underwrite, which is a repeated process. You don't know how to comp a property. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have not looked at over 500 houses, let's say using Privy, if you haven't looked at 500 houses and gone through the process to determine what a cash offer would be, then you haven't practiced enough. You don't deserve to know how to comp 500 or more. I'm legit telling you that that is the truth. So, cool thing. So a lot of you guys, if you want to learn creative finance, I didn't talk really about creative finance in here, but that is the main thing I love talking about. I love talking about it so much that I wrote a book with Bigger Pockets, all about subject to, seller finance, novation agreements, all that kind of stuff. And if you pre-order the book, this book comes with a whole video companion guide that you get only from pre-ordering it. So go to biggerpockets.com, biggerpockets.com/wealth without cash. Now, there's so much more to getting a deal than this and this framework, but this is the framework. There's just 1,000 questions in between. It really is challenging. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So again, the number one thing you're going to end up needing is this. The number one thing you're going to need is this. You're going to need people to connect with, people that go on appointments with you, people that you can go on appointments with. I did that too when I first started out. I started going on appointments with other people. You need a community of people. What you need is somebody to plug into. More YouTube videos are not going to help you. At some point, you just got to turn the YouTube off and you got to join a community, whether it's Astro Flipping, SubTo, Brent Daniels thing. You got to join a community of people that are collectively working together all over the country. So if you guys want to join my community link is down below. But at some point, you're going to need physical people in proximity, geographical proximity to where you're at. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet on this video, I'm blown away. We work so hard, spend a lot of money editing, videography, blah, blah, blah. Here we are enjoying the day outside, but it's still a lot of work. I'm taking time away from other things and text messages and deals to make sure that we give you guys value. So please pay us back in return and subscribe. Let my team know how much you appreciate them and all the hard work that goes behind the things. And we'll see you in another video. Okay, what's the next video?